Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you into NCAA Division II men's basketball coverage. In tonight's non-conference matchup, the College of Staten Island Dolphins host the Panthers of Virginia Union University. Good evening, everybody. Once again, my name is Joe Foreman, alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Durst. And Nick, the Dolphins come into 2025 with a record of 5-8. They continue non-conference play here tonight against a first-time opponent in Virginia Union University.
Yes, they do, Joe. This is a historic matchup, and this is obviously the first time both of these teams taking the court in 2025. Virginia University making the trip up north here. It's their first ever meeting, and this is a game where both teams, of course, are hoping to win, and both teams come into the season right now with a losing record.
Dolphins have lost each of their last two games. The first of those came against a regionally ranked program in Pace University. Dolphins really struggled in that game. Did have a much better effort in their final game of 2024 at Bloomfield. However, once again, they came up short in that game, losing to the Bears by 10. But Nick, obviously you were here when the Dolphins last took the court here at the tank. What did you see in that game that needed to be improved upon in their loss to the Setters?
Well, I think they needed to make some more shots, especially from beyond the arc. And in this game, we're looking at they didn't really shoot the ball too well overall. 17 of 59, 5 of 30 from three, like I mentioned, very poor. But tonight, there should be a big help for that, and that is going to be Chris Clancy making his season debut. He's starting, and he is going to be shooting the three very well.
Well, the Dolphins certainly have missed Chris Clancy. He was a key part of this Dolphins squad last season. He will be in the starting lineup tonight. Last season, primarily, Clancy did most of his work off of the bench. In fact, he did not start a single game last season, appeared in all 29 games as a reserve for this CSI squad, averaging about 21 minutes per game. He shot 42% from the field and 42% from beyond the arc. Of his 201 shot attempts, 146 of them were three-pointers. However, Nick, Clancy, a valuable asset not only at the offensive end, but at the defensive end as well.
Yeah, he's good as far as making some steals and stuff. He also has great court vision, so he's obviously a great shooter, but he's not afraid to pass it and find the open shooter or cutting man as well. So big addition here to the starting lineup. Didn't really start that much last year, was the key guy off the bench. And we'll see what he's able to do here this evening.
All right, Nick, I have been summoned to the other side of the gym. We will step aside here and take a break, cutting our McDonald's pregame show just a bit short. When we come back, the Dolphins take on Virginia University as these two men's basketball programs meet for the first time ever.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
And we are back from the College of Staten Island, just a few moments away from tip-off between the College of Staten Island and Virginia Union University. Once again, my name is Joe Foreman, alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Durst. And Nick, you have the starting lineups presented, as always, by our friends at Jimmy Mac's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria.
Okay, Joe, for Virginia Union University, their head coach is Jay Butler, wearing 0. It's the senior center at 6'9". A homecoming for him, the Staten Island, New York native, Keyshawn Faulkner-Smith. Number 2, the sophomore point guard, Travis Vaughn. Number 4, the freshman guard, Kennard White. Number 5, the senior guard, DJ Mitchell. And number 15, the senior forward, Jonathan King. Now, for your CSI Dolphins, coached by T.J. Tibbs. Number 3, the 6'2" guard, the junior from Waterloo, New York, Jay Chestnut. Number 14, making his season debut, the 6'2" guard, the senior from New York, Chris Clancy. Number 21, the sophomore guard at 6 foot from Staten New York, Aaron Goldstein. And forward, the 6'7" senior from Waterloo, New York, wearing number 23, Messiah Mallory. And number 24, the sophomore guard bringing the heat from West Palm Beach, it is Blake Wilson.
All right, thank you, Nick. Once again, our starting lineups presented tonight by Jimmy Mac's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria. Nick, the Dolphins come in, as I mentioned before, 5-8, and we've seen this from the Dolphins in the past. Very typically, this team has stacked the early portion of the schedule with some very tough non-conference opponents. That obviously begins with the Tournament of Heroes. They are very early in their conference season and will have 2 more non-conference games, including tonight's game, before they ultimately return to conference action against Mercy in 6 days. So the Dolphins obviously hope to get back in the win column, but more importantly, they hope to get back on track heading into conference play beginning next week.
Yeah, they always want to be battle-tested early on and go against a tough schedule so that when it comes time for conference play, they're ready. They've played higher competition levels, and they're set to go for the conference play down the stretch, because ultimately in the D2 level, Joe, the only thing that matters is your conference record.
Dolphins have aspirations for a top seed in the ECC. They have already faced Damon and Duville as well as UDC, winning 2 out of 3 of those games. Next up on the conference schedule, Mercy. Next up on the schedule overall will be Wilmington University in 2 days' time. But before that, the Panthers stand between the Dolphins and the Wildcats, and we have tip-off for the first time in 2025. Panthers with it first. Weiss sends it up top. Feed now goes inside. And that lefty layup won't go by Faulkner-Smith. Fight for the rebound. Goldstein has it, and he draws the foul.
Draws the foul there, and Joe, this will now be my 6th year working on Sportsnet with you.
Foul number 15, Jonathan King.
Nick, I'll be right back.
But
it's been great working.
An early exit for Joe. He's had enough. And we are with the Nick Durst Show as Chris Clancy has the ball, gives it to Aaron Goldstein. Aaron Goldstein blows into his hands to warm them up. He dishes it inside to J.J. Chestnut, who then tries to kick it out to Clancy, but it's stolen by Faulkner Smith. Or excuse me, stolen by Vaughn. And now with the ball is White. White dishes it over to Mitchell. Mitchell pulls back for three. In and out, rebounded by Goldstein. And now Goldstein back the other way. He gives it up to Chestnut at the top of the key. Chestnut inside to Mallory. Mallory out to Blake Wilson for three. Off the mark. Rebounded by King. To the basket now, and kicking out is Virginia University. Union University's attack. Vaughn gives it up to King, and King kicks it out in the corner to his teammate, who then drives to the basket. White, and he is fouled. So an early foul here.
Foul on number 21, Aaron Goldstein. His first, and Staten Island's first of the first half.
And joining us once again on the broadcast is Joe Foreman.
Getting my cardio in, Nick. Had to sprint across each baseline, address the sound issue in the gym, and make my way back to my seat. Maybe one day that won't be necessary, as the Dolphins force a turnover, and Clancy couldn't finish, but Mallory has the feed from Wilson, and he lays it up and in.
Well, Joe, you know how in the pro sports they have the combines, but I think the Sportsnet combine would have to include charting your time running across the gym.
That would certainly be one event. Maybe how quickly you can roll up a power cord, as that three is good by DJ Mitchell.
Number 5, DJ Mitchell.
First points of the night for the Panthers. They lead at 3-2. Chestnut has it now. Clancy on the wing. Clancy in the lineup for the first time this season. This is Goldstein, top of the arc, 8 to shoot. Chestnut in the corner, cross-court pass, Goldstein three. No good. And the rebound goes to Faulkner Smith. Panthers look to run. Mitchell cross-court pass. Now Weish feeds it inside. It goes through the legs of Faulkner Smith and is stolen by Mallory. Chestnut directing traffic has Goldstein. Quick closeout there by Mitchell, and Mallory knocks down the mid-range jumper.
Love it. You see Mallory shooting those mid-range shots because it's hard to stop.
Dolphins lead it 4-3. Weish defended by Goldstein. He checks over his shoulder. The entry pass goes inside. Mitchell backing down Chestnut. Shot fake. Fadeaway jumper. A bit strong, and a strong rebound was knocked away from Mallory, who gets it back. And here come the Dolphins. Clancy for three. Splash!
Chris Clancy with his first points of the season knocks down the open three off the feed from Aaron Goldstein.
And we have our first CC3 of the season. Chris Clancy, welcome back. And the Dolphins lead at 7-3. Faulkner Smith doubled, had the ball stripped away. And CSI forces another turnover. Wilson on the wing, back up top. Clancy. Way too strong. That was the old heat check on that one. Once again, the feed goes to the left baseline. King looked to spin, kicks it out, and knocking down the three was Travis Vaughn.
Vaughn open there, steps into it, and knocks down three.
Dolphins now lead by one. Nice shot fake by Blake Wilson, and he draws the foul.
Blake Wilson, like many players, coming off the holiday break, sporting a new, fresh haircut. A lot of these players went home, got their haircuts, and came back recharged and ready to go for the second half of the season.
And here, each of them will get a breather. Media timeout, our first of the game with 15:14 to go in the first half. Staten Island leads Virginia Union 7-6.
Dolphins fans, want to stay connected with everything happening at the College of Staten Island? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Catch all the live streams, exclusive behind-the-scenes tours, the latest episodes of CSI Today Talks, student film showcases, and so much more new programming. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button now at youtube.com/College of Staten Island, or scan the QR code on the screen and stay in the loop with everything CSI.
Just over 15 minutes to play in this first half. The Dolphins lead the Panthers 7-6. Ahead of that last media timeout, the Dolphins had 3 players waiting at the scorer's table. And each of them will check in here. Asa Kone, Justin Zeres, and Shamar Laddie will check in. And with the addition of Clancy back into the rotation, the depth of this Dolphins team grows even further.
Dolphins are getting healthy as they head in towards the bulk conference play schedule after the next game.
First free throw by Blake Wilson was no good. He has one more from the line after he was fouled just ahead of our last break. And Wilson goes 1 of 2 from the line. Dolphins lead by a pair. Panthers race up the floor. King almost had it stripped away. He's tied up. He sends it a long way out. This is Weish. And Virginia Union will reset. Pass goes to the corner. Open 3 short. And rebounded by Zeres. Here comes Goldstein. Big crossover. Now Laddie on the drive. He finds Kone, who finds Goldstein, who may have traveled. And Laddie gets in, can't finish the floater. Mitchell, met by Goldstein, now Weish. Up top to Malachi Dark, who just checked in, now in the post. That is King, no good on the turnaround.
Good job there by Zeres defending him.
Zeres into the corner. Wilson, bounce pass inside. Kone lost it. I think it was Weish who poked it away. Mitchell looking over his shoulder for a teammate and finally gives it up. .12 to shoot. Weish defended by Blake Wilson. Now Mitchell. Back outside, they work it around the perimeter to an open Vaughn, short on the 3. And Kone was unable to secure the rebound.
Checking in for Virginia Union, number 23, Jonathan Salazar.
And it looks like the Dolphins are going to go with a full bench unit here. Wilson and Goldstein head to the bench. Poulin and Wiggin both check in. So if you were wondering whether or not the Dolphins would shorten the rotation a bit with the addition of Clancy, early on anyway, the answer is no.
No, they expanded their rotation.
Swarming defense here by the Dolphins as Weish is too strong on the 3. Offensive rebound was pulled in by Salazar, and then Zeres commits the foul.
Foul, number 5, Justin Zeres, his first and Staten Island's second of the first half.
First foul on Zeres, second team foul for the Dolphins. And there's a good move in the post by Dark. And with that, Virginia Union, I thought had tied it, but they pulled to within 2. Nick, wasn't it 7-6?
I thought so. I thought that's why they were blowing the whistle now. But
Let's check the live stats.
JJ Chestnut.
Can always count on the live stats.
had the 3, so maybe not.
I think it's 8-8, but taking a look now. It's 8-8.
Joe might have to go back across the way. Anthony's all over it. He's all over it. The public address.
It looks like they're trying to communicate it. They have not added the points
problem
yet.
is
There we go.
Stephanie. Oh, there she is. She saw Anthony's signal now.
Rebound goes to the Dolphins there off that miss as I was trying to get the attention of the scorers table. This is Chestnut, and he draws the foul.
JJ is so good at going to the basket and drawing the foul. He's able to really elevate when he gets down low.
Foul number 31, Malachi Dark, his first and Virginia's third in the first half.
Foul is the first on Dark and the third on Virginia Union. And JJ's first free throw is no good.
Checking in for Virginia Union will be number 20, Jamari Garman.
Second free throw from Chestnut is good, and the Dolphins go back in front by 1. Dolphins continue to pressure the length of the floor. They have plenty of time to get set. Panthers left with 15 on the shot clock. Dark goes to work again and draws a foul.
So they'll go to the free throw line here. Lots of fouls early on.
JJ Chestnut, his first and the Dolphins' third of the first half. At the line,
Both teams now with 3 team fouls. First free throw of the night coming up here for the Panthers. That line drive free throw is off the front rim, no good.
Checking in for the Dolphins, number 21, Aaron Goldstein.
Aaron Goldstein back in, JJ Chestnut to the bench. And Dark goes 0 of 2 from the line. Laddie doubled at half court, finds Ziris, who finds Goldstein. Splash.
AG3 from the corner.
We have the potential for an AG3, a CC3. All things becoming right here in the tank as Dark has yet another one underneath.
Don't forget the JZ3.
That's true. We do have that as well. Kone had it poked away, straight into the hands of Ziris. Ziris now doubled, finds Laddie. Laddie for Goldstein. Splash.
As good as gold, Joe, when Aaron Goldstein is knocking down back-to-back threes. You know he's in for a good game.
The Dolphins now really beginning to heat up as Poulin tips that pass. Dolphins as a team now 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. And with that, we will head to a media timeout. 11:15 to go in the first half. The Dolphins lead it 15-10.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
$11:15 to go in the first half, with the Dolphins leading the Panthers 15-10. Dolphins 5 of 10 from the floor thus far. Of their 10 field goal attempts, 6 have come from beyond the arc. 3 of those have gone down. And right now, that's a big difference in this game. Nick, we've said it more than once before. When the Dolphins are knocking down their outside shots, combined with the great defense that they play just about every game, they are a very different team, a very difficult team to compete.
Yeah, it was one of my keys to pregame to success, the three-pointers, as Poulin comes out with the steal.
Zeros up the floor to Laddie. Now Goldstein, too strong. Now the Panthers look to run. Dark defended by Mallory, and he banks it in.
Good job by Dark there running the floor.
Nice feed by Farrell Crowell as well. Setting up Dark in good position, one-on-one. Dolphins lead it by 3. Laddie kicks out, Poulin. No good. Mallory tips the rebound into the hands of Crowell. And Mallory all over that pass, could not make the save. And Nick, since he's come in the game, Panthers have really been looking to feature Malachi Dark inside.
Well, he's such an imposing presence, Joe. He's 6'7", 260 pounds. His kryptonite, though, maybe shoot free throws. He was 0 for 2 from the line before.
And that shot was rejected, but Dark was there to clean it up, and it took him 2 attempts, but he does get the lay-in to go.
Gets himself 2 offensive rebounds.
That is prime stat sheet stuffing right there as the Dolphins turn it over. Here come the Panthers once again. To the rim on the floater and getting the roll was Jamari Garnett.
Garnett, a nice addition to this roster for Virginia Union University.
Well, he was certainly a late addition for us. He was not on the website. As Zeros can't connect from 3, that rebound pulled in by Poulin. Now Mallory will try. No good. And again, the rebound is pulled in by Crowell.
Could be Garnett's first game.
Could be. They were dealing with a lot of number discrepancies in NCAA live stats before this game. They got it all sorted out thanks to some help from the official bookkeeper for the Panthers. Foul was called away from the ball. It goes against the Dolphins.
Foul number 23, Messiah Mallory, his first, and the Dolphins' 4th of the opening half.
Inbound from the baseline. Panthers left with 15 to shoot here. Crowell well beyond the arc, defended by Goldstein. Crowell crosses over to his right, creates some space, finds Dark, and he lays it up and in.
Dark causing all sorts of fits down low.
Goldstein right back to Zeros. This is Wilson. Hop step. Looking for somewhere to go with it. He was stripped.
Travel.
Dark traveled.
Travel on Virginia Union. It's Staten Island basketball.
With that turnover, the Dolphins will make a substitution as they send Leighton Woods into the game.
For Virginia Union, number 23, Jonathan Salazar.
Woods in for the Dolphins, and Jonathan Salazar in for Virginia Union. Corner 3, air ball. Big collision in pursuit of the rebound as a foul was called. 2 players laying out to try and make the save.
The foul's going to go on Leighton Woods.
Woods was there along with Garnett, launching themselves nearly into the front row. 8:20 to go, first half. The Dolphins now trail by 3. Panthers on an 8-0 run here. Garnett gets the shot to go off the window. It rattles in.
Lucky break there.
Maybe 7:22 on a Thursday night, but the bank is still open for Garnett.
Cha-ching for
I
Garnett.
actually found out, Nick, completely off topic, as Goldstein kicks out to Mallory, who head fakes. Feed inside, was tipped, but Chestnut was fouled. Did you know that the banks are open on Sunday?
No
Yes.
way. Maybe not the banks I go to.
TD Bank in Matawan, New Jersey, right down the block from me, is open on Sunday.
That's crazy.
I had to get a certified bank check. I was able to go in on a Sunday. Even more striking, there was a line.
Well, it's the only bank open on Sunday. That's why.
Perhaps, that's a good point. 7:43 to go in this first half. The Dolphins now trail 21-15.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
$7:43 to go, first half. The Dolphins have it, but not for long, as the inbound was too high for Chestnut. It will be Panthers basketball, and they will get right back to work now in the midst of an 11-0 run. Crowell will bring it up. Goldstein was defending. Backing in, Mitchell against Clancy, and he draws the foul.
Foul on number 14, Chris Clancy, his first.
Dolphins.
foul.
Sixth of the opening half.
Dolphins now with their starting unit back out there. As you were about to say, Nick, team foul number 6 on the Dolphins. And the first free throw by Mitchell is good.
Number 5, DJ Mitchell.
Second free throw is good. 13 consecutive points for the Panthers now, and you have to think this is beginning to move into concerning territory for the Dolphins.
Has to be.
Goldstein, splash.
Well, that'll ease any concerns. Third three of the game for Goldstein right now. That's going to lead to more concerns.
And the Panthers answer right back.
Number 5, DJ Mitchell.
Took no more than about 7 seconds for Virginia Union to get down the court and respond. This is Chestnut to the basket, double. Blake Wilson hits strong, rebound tipped out by Chestnut. Goldstein for Wilson for 3. No good. And the Panthers will let it go out of bounds. Just over 6.5 to play. Half number one, Dolphins trail by 8. Panthers have yet to lead by double digits in this game. We'll look to change that here. Line drive 3. Connects with nothing but the backboard from Garnett. Now Chestnut to the rim, can't finish the floater. And here come the Panthers, right back the other way. Mitchell around the back, feed inside, extra pass, count the basket, and one.
Nice extra pass there. Leads to the basket and the foul.
Keyshawn Faulkner-Smith converts through the contact, and he will head to the line for one more.
Keyshawn Faulkner-Smith with the foul was J.J. Chestnut, his second and the Dolphins' 7th of the opening half. At the line for Virginia Union, number 0, Keyshawn Faulkner-Smith.
Free throw on its way, and that is good. And with that, the lead surpasses 10 points. Virginia Union in front, 29-18.
Virginia Union coming in on a 2-game winning streak, looking to continue the good times here in 2025.
Ziris for 3.
JZ 3. Both teams shooting extremely well from downtown.
Dolphins right back to within 8. He goes inside. Right back out, Mitchell. He's looking into the post again. The Dolphins doing a good job cutting off the angles. Mitchell lost the ball, 2 to shoot. He's got it back. And Wilson may have blocked the shot. Either way, it is a shot clock violation.
Excellent defense by the Dolphins there to force the shot clock violation.
That's the kind of defense that can really invigorate your team as Clancy travel.
Travel on Staten Island, Virginia Union basketball.
I don't know about that, Jay.
Checking in for Virginia Union.
You know, it's really tough because when he gets that ball, I'm not looking at his feet really. He's right in front of us, so I'm just following the ball.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything too blatant. It's easier to pick that up when you're further from the action. From our perspective, we're close, but we're not really following his feet.
Right. To me, it looked like he caught it and then pivoted, changed body.
Number 4, Kennard
There's some good touch there by Kennard Weish on the lay-in. Virginia Union back in front by 10. Kone outside for Clancy now. Ziris finds Wilson. No good. Wilson struggling here in the first half.
I was going to say, off the marker, off his three-pointers so far. We know he could make them, so we'll see if he keeps taking them.
Dolphins were shooting it well early. They've gone cold now. Weish with 12 on the shot clock, swings it over to Vaughn. Vaughn is double teamed, looks to dribble away from it. Kick out, 3-pointer on its way, and that is good by Jamari Garnett. Timeout, Dolphins.
Yeah, Garnett there, just a good ball movement. Was about 3 on the shot clock. Takes the 3, makes it, and it's 34-21.
And those baskets can be so demoralizing for a team. You force them to hold it until late in the shot clock, only to see a 3-pointer go down. That was fairly well contested, but the Dolphins find themselves in a 13-point hole with 4:16 to go in the first half. Our score, Panthers 34, Dolphins 21.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
4:16 to go, first half. Our score, Virginia Union 34, Staten Island 21. We are aware of an issue where our audio may be a bit delayed. Not exactly sure why. This was not an issue last year. It has been a problem consistently this year.
Now, when you go back to watch the replay, is it fixes automatically? You have to redo it?
I will say this. It's very odd because what happens is I go and watch the replay of the game. The replay is fine. I download the replay for editing, and there is a massive delay in the replay file. There is no delay when you watch the game back on demand. That leads me to believe that it's not an issue on our end.
No, it's probably a back-end issue.
That being said, though, if it was an issue with Huddle, other streams would be delayed, and I haven't noticed that. So I'm not really sure. But I will tell you, when I go back and watch on demand, there's no problem. It's when I download that on-demand stream that we have issues. Laddie goes 2 of 2 from the line, and with 4:03 to go in the half, the Dolphins trail by 11. .15 on the shot clock. The feed goes inside very quickly, sent right back out. Faulkner Smith was still looking to post up as that one was dribbled off his foot by Salazar. Here comes Ziris for 3. No good. And the rebound was pulled in by Salazar.
Right now, Virginia Union University controlling the pace of the game.
And Nick, you know what? I'm thinking that the issue with the audio could be the Wi-Fi, as that's pulled in by Blake Wilson. We were wired last season.
Right.
Wilson left open. Splash.
Well, we said if he keeps taking them, he's going to make them. Wilson knocks down his first 3 of the game. So Blake Wilson knocks down the 3 there.
Yes. Yes, he did, Nick. There's a foul called at the other end, and right now Nick and I are reacting to the public address in the building. I'll step off headset for just a moment.
Foul number 4, Shamar Laddie, his first in the Dolphins' 8th.
So Laddie picks up the foul.
Checking in for Virginia.
Dolphins' 8th team foul now.
Number 31, Malachi Dork.
At the line, Kennard Weish. His team leading by 8. And front end of the 1-and-1 is good.
Virginia Union, number 4, Kennard White.
I'm still here in my seat, Nick, longing for the day where no communication is required between myself and the other side of the gym.
Keep dreaming.
That day is going to come by either necessity or me just cutting them off at some point.
You know what? You know how that day will come? We're all seated on the same side of the gym.
Well, then I'll be getting calls from down the other end of the table. As Laddie can't connect from 3. Rebound by Wilson. I think his shot was partially blocked. Panthers now looking to push. Weish into the corner, and Ziris rejects the 3-point attempt by Garnett.
Big block there by Ziris in the corner.
Dolphins, number 21, Aaron Goldstein.
Great hustle to get there and close by Ziris.
Checking in for the Dolphins, number 1, Joey Coleman.
Wilson and Kone head to the bench. On the floor for the Dolphins, Laddie, Poulin, Goldstein, Ziris, and Mallory. Just over 2 minutes to play in the half. Dolphins trail by 10. This is Dark, and he was fouled. No, he traveled.
Travel on Virginia Union, it's Staten Island basketball.
Dolphins looking to make some sort of run here with just about 2 minutes left, down 10 going into half.
Laddie for Goldstein. Ziris in the corner, drives baseline and threw it away. He had 2 teammates there and threw it in between both of them. Mallory asking Ziris who that pass was for, and it was indeed for Messiah. 2 minutes to play, first half, in a 10-point game. Dark backing in, kicks it out to Weish, and he threw it to no one.
Couple of errant passes in a row.
Turnovers now beginning to pile up.
Dolphins looking to move here.
Poulin back out to Laddie. Now Goldstein for Ziris. Dolphins swinging it around the perimeter quickly. Tough shot. Too strong for Mallory. Poulin with another offensive board. Now Ziris out to Goldstein. Laddie for Poulin. And that rolls off the rim. No good. Here come the Panthers again.
In and out there for Poulin.
That one rolled right over the rim and off. And timeout was called by the Panthers bench.
Well, if you don't use them, you lose them. So Panthers looking to talk this over as Jay Butler calls timeout.
Use it or lose it with the 30-second timeout. Question is, did they grant a timeout?
Well, Coach Tibbs seems a little confused. He's talking to the refs.
That's very odd.
Panthers didn't even huddle, so I don't know what the heck's happened.
Well, they were halfway to the bench and now have to inbound the ball again. Not exactly sure what happened there.
Well, it says they still have 4 timeouts left on our scoreboard, but I can't trust that.
Well, they weren't granted a timeout. 8 seconds on the shot clock. And a foul is called inside.
Well, Joe, I was wondering where our aspiring officials were. They finally make their debut this 2025 with a little under a minute left in the first half.
My eyes were on the scorer's table where Coach TJ Tibbs was
very
comfortably
animated.
reclining on the padded edge.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I wasn't sure if he was providing some words of encouragement to our staff or getting into better position to address the
I think he was
officials.
telling Stephanie, Emily, and Marquise what a great job they're doing.
Number 14, Chris Clancy.
Now we're doing the old 2 hands in the air, hands off. You know things aren't going well when you look over and you see
The signature sloppy Steve move.
when you see hands in the air.
Wasn't me.
Panthers in front by 12. Under a minute to play, first half. Laddie for Mallory, right back to Laddie for 3. Way off. Clancy has it. Now Goldstein for 3. In and out. Mallory's tip won't go. And now the Panthers will call timeout.
Timeout taken by.
They had to think about it a bit, but they did call one.
Just a lot of confusion here at the end of this half.
Dolphins bench is waiting to see what they called.
Had to be timeout.
The officials are waiting to see what timeout it will be. It's 30-second timeout. So with that, we'll stay right here. 38.5 to go in this first half. The Dolphins trail by 12, and that was after the Dolphins got off to a very nice start in this game. They were playing well early, but since that time, their shooting percentage has fallen a great deal. They opened the game 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, make that 3 of 6. They are now 6 of 22, so just 3 of their last 16 from downtown. Meanwhile, the Panthers are shooting 50% from the field and 5 of 11 from distance.
Yeah, Dolphins 18 of their points on 3, so not much going on with them inside the paint. Virginia Union University doing a nice job containing Messiah Mallory in this one.
Dolphins are actually winning the turnover battle, but where the difference in this game is right now, points in the paint. The Panthers leading in that department 16-2. Hard to believe in nearly 20 minutes of basketball, just 2 points in the paint. Dolphins should get one more possession, barring an offensive rebound. Dark is quickly double teamed. Off the head fake, Vaughn drives, can't get the floater to go, but he will head to the line for 2 shots.
Foul number 5. Correction, number 5, Justin Zaris. His second in the Dolphins' 10th of the opening half.
2 late free throws here in this half.
First free throw no good as the aspiring officials make their voices heard. I'll tell you, they're imploring the officials to let them play. They would have loved the officiating in game 1.
Oh, yes.
I don't think I've ever seen a better case of let them play.
They're swallowing the whistles, that's for sure.
That sounds dangerous. Second free throw is good. "15 seconds to go in the half. Mallory for Xeris. Dolphins will hold for the last shot. This is Laddie off the crossover, kicks out. Goldstein for 3. Splash.
Well, that was big going into half. Oh. Going into half, only down 10 as Clancy almost made a circus-like shot there and steal at the end.
Well, I thought that the official ruled Clancy had stepped out of bounds.
That's what I thought so too. So I don't know. There's
They will not make them inbound the ball. The half is over. Our score at halftime.
Coach Tibbs is ready for halftime interviews, so you better hurry up.
Virginia Union 39, Staten Island 29. Nick joined by Coach Tibbs in a few moments.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music.
And we're back for our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. Nick is joined down on the court by men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs.
Thanks, Joe. Coach, Happy New Year. Back here in the tank to start things off in 2025. Virginia Union University comes in here at a 2-game winning streak. We know they have a lot of talent. What is it they do so well?
But they play hard. They're really well coached. You know, Jay's got them ready. You know, they struggle. They played a very hard schedule like we have. So they've played a lot of good teams. We've had some mutual opponents. They played UDC, who's in our conference. But they came in here and they knocked some shots down. You know, they're not known to shoot the ball well. But, you know, we give them time and space to shoot. They've had a couple that go in. You know, their big guys are inside, and they're tough right now. You know, they're tough to handle on the glass. A couple of times we over or under rotated, and we got some of the big guys who got some dump-ins or some offensive rebounds, so we got to clean that up. And then we're getting good looks, and the looks that I want us to get, the balls just got to go in. But I got confidence in the guys that are shooting it, and we'll figure it out.
Your team, they're getting healthier by the day. Chris Clancy makes his season debut tonight. What does that mean for your team to have him in the rotation?
Well, having another senior and an experienced guy, you know, it definitely helps. We've been playing a lot of young guys, and they've been great. But to have a guy who's been through it, you know, 2 programs now, who's been through our, you know, playoff run and number 2 seed last year, it just adds experience and a sense of calmness. Somebody who's out there who has done it multiple times. So it's happy for him. You know, it sucks to have your senior year and to get hurt right before the year, but it's good to see him making steps to be back, and we're definitely going to need him if we want to be the team that we want to be.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Best luck in the second half, and best of luck the rest of 2025. All right, Joe, that's the halftime report with Coach TJ Tibbs. Back over to you at the commentary desk.
All right, thank you, Nick, and thank you to Coach Tibbs for joining us for our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. His team trails by 10 at the break. Virginia Union leads CSI 39-29. When we come back, the second half of this men's basketball non-conference matchup.
me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together, I feel like. I don't know what it was that drew me in, but after I started playing for a while and started seeing some early success as a little kid, to see how much it meant to my parents to see me play the game and try to make a difference was really what fueled me to keep playing and stay competitive. Being a triple major is not necessarily easy, but at the same time it is what you make it. Being a tighter-knit university, I have a lot of classes with the same professors, so they know me pretty well. I think it's that personal relationship that really helped me to thrive as a student. I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. I could sit in the book bag, like facing backwards and with like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back. And my dad was like, we have a prodigy. So he put me into soccer and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Second half from the tank where the Dolphins trail 39-29. CSI will possess it first to begin half number 2. This is Chestnut up to Mallory and out to Clancy. Now, Chestnut is rejected at the rim. Good ball movement to start the half for the Dolphins does not yield them any points. Perhaps even better defense by the Panthers. Along the baseline, that hook shot no good off back iron. That was King working against Blake Wilson. And thought they pointed in CSI's direction, but it will stay Panthers basketball.
Dolphins here for the second half. They really need to up their points in the paint. 2 points in the first half.
That is hard to believe. 20 minutes, 2 points in the paint, but we know this team, when they're at their best, they do score in the paint in transition as a result of their defense. There's some good defense there, forcing a shot clock violation, but most of the time it is a high volume of three-point shots and transition baskets that help propel this Dolphins team to victory. We've seen that more often than any other recipe for success.
Virginia Union definitely shot the ball well in the first half.
Well, we do have the shooting numbers for the first half here, so we'll share those. For the Dolphins, just 9 of 30 from the field and 7 of 23 from downtown. The Panthers, 13 of 26 from the field, 5 of 11 from three-point range. Chestnut out to Mallory. Mallory works into the paint. Turnaround jumper, no good. And at first, no Panther wanted the rebound. They do secure it. 2 double-digit scores for the Panthers. Malachi Dark, one of them with 10 points.
Yeah, Dark had more points than minutes played.
DJ Mitchell, the other. Each of them with 10. On the side of the Dolphins, Aaron Goldstein had 12 on 4 of 8 from downtown. No other Dolphin with more than 4 points. Alley-oop attempt off the inbound. And that finish not converted by Faulkner Smith. Whistle underneath for the out of bounds, and it will be Dolphins ball. The Dolphins have shown some good intensity at the defensive end early in the second half. Clancy tries to get the offense going, and that three-pointer won't go.
For January 2nd, when there's no school in session, there's a good turnout here tonight, and this crowd is just waiting for something to cheer for.
That is very true, the first part, and I'm sure the second as well, but this is a very good turnout for a game where class is not in session. Certainly is.
A very rare Thursday night game.
That's also true. We do not play many games on Thursday. That being said, was our last game a Wednesday or a Thursday against Pace?
Might have been a Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday?
We played Tuesday before, I don't know if it was before Christmas or that might have been before Thanksgiving. So the last game I think was a Wednesday.
Our conference games, of course, fall Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, and that alley-oop is thrown down by Faulkner Smith.
Nicely done, nice feed there, and a great finish by Faulkner Smith.
Blake Wilson rolled his ankle as that jumper is good. And Wilson on the bad foot is able to block that shot, and now Mallory answers with an alley-oop slam of his own.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Goldstein to Mallory. knocking down, slammed it home after Wilson on 1 foot had the block. And now Mallory blocks an alley-oop attempt.
How about that? The two teams trading alley-oops, and then the Panthers go for another. And Wilson has taken a seat on the floor.
He keeps getting up, so he's going to have to stick in there. We'll see if maybe they foul or something to get him out.
Assuming he rolled the ankle, you know, at first, when the injury's fresh, obviously you're in a ton of pain, but you feel like you can move on it. In my experience, once it tightens up, that's it.
Gets the rebound there. He's playing great on that one ankle.
How about this effort? Credit to Wilson. He had to gut that out for, what, 6 possessions?
Yeah, and he had a block.
He had a block and a rebound. I think he had an assist as well. And they're working on unlacing that right shoe right now. Whenever you see an injury like this, it's usually pretty clear that it's an ankle sprain. Won't speculate any more than that, but the question then becomes, how long of an absence will it require? Because there's almost always an absence associated with ankle sprains.
Does seem to be walking pretty nicely, though. So.
Yeah, for me, that has not been an issue on a freshly rolled ankle. Obviously, you have a bit of a limp.
It's the swelling.
It's when that injury is allowed to sit and linger
I
for
rolled
a few
my ankle
hours.
twice tonight coming down to the court.
All right, let's stop you right there.
Luckily, it's not that severe.
Let's not talk about that. Hopefully you're the only one. So the Dolphins send Joey Poulin in to replace Blake Wilson. 3-2 strong from Aaron Goldstein, but the Dolphins have the offensive board, and Clancy has another 3.
You just simply cannot leave Clancy that open. I know it was off rotation and a rebound, but when Clancy's that open, he's going to make the threes.
Dolphins back to within 5 here. Dark immediately doubled, and Mallory swats away the shot by Weish.
And Chestnut, they're going to call him for a travel?
That's a tough call.
This will be a media timeout.
And that will send us to a media timeout. 15:36 to go in the second half. The Dolphins have cut the lead in half. They now trail 41-36.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
$15:36 to go in the second half. And the Dolphins have cut a 10-point halftime deficit in half. They trail 41-36. However, it is Panthers basketball following a Dolphins travel. And immediately Malachi Dark is fouled on the entry pass. Foul on Messiah Mallory. His second. And that is our first foul of the second half.
Let him play, Joe. Let him play.
That's right. I think coaches are much less inclined to agree with that sentiment, but from a pure entertainment value, I think it stands true from my perspective.
From a broadcast and fan perspective, I think so.
That's a good defensive play there. To poke that one away by Mitchell. Dolphins also to get the ball back on offense there. Had a good sequence defensively as well. Dark and Mallory going at each other, and there was some malice in that shove.
Hopefully no technical foul on Mallory.
That's got to be a technical on Dark.
Well, they might tee up both guys.
If they tee up Mallory for that, that would be ridiculous.
And he's taking out his legs there. He's taking Mallory's legs
Get
out.
the replay, Tyler. Yeah, let's run it back. I mean, you could see it. Dark was frustrated with the physicality of Mallory's defense. Who knows what kind of hand fighting or posturing was going on? But
you don't want to wake the gentle giant. And they did call Mallory on the foul.
Oh my!
Whoa!
We're impartial, Nick. We can't do that.
Everyone behind us is booing.
Nick, I try to be as impartial as I can. That might be one of the worst calls I've ever seen.
So Mallory was tackled, and he gets called for the foul.
That is one of the worst calls I've ever seen. That was terrible. And we have the replay, Tyler. I'm assuming you could confirm it. Now, unless the only way that would be a foul on Mallory is if the foul was called before Dark threw him to the ground. Because Dark threw him to the ground with two hands. Dark kicks this one out. Vaughn for three, and that is good.
Virginia Union capitalizes on the Mallory foul.
All of a sudden, Mallory has 3 fouls, and that is a storyline to watch moving forward. This is Poulin, and he is rejected. How about that leap by King as Poulin was fouled? King came across the baseline and soared through the air to block that floater.
Tremendous.
But going back to that call, I cannot believe they called a foul.
Well, did you get a look at the replay? Next stop,
I
next
did
stop
not.
it.
We'll run it back.
And you'll have to review it.
And Mallory's fouled there. Tyler, let's run it back here. I never even looked back
Slow
at the monitor.
motion. Let's slow it down.
We'll slow it down. All right, so I'm getting as close a look as I can here. Obviously, there's battling in the post for position. I don't know how you can call that on Mallory.
Well, I don't think anybody in the building.
Well, to be fair, the building is very biased and
right,
pro
but
Staten Island.
the way the coaching staff for CSI reacted, they're pretty impartial. Obviously, they want to win, but they know when the calls are right, and they did not like that call.
Well, I think Mallory deserves credit for not escalating that. Said his piece and walked away, but man, I don't know how you call that a defensive foul.
It led to 3 points.
$14:20 to go, second half. The Dolphins are within 6. This is Vaughn, handoff to King. He works against Poulin and draws the foul. King will head to the line for 2 shots here. And at, I believe, the 15:45 mark, we had just 1 foul called. And it was the first of the 2 fouls on Mallory in the second half. Since then, 4 more.
Well, what you were saying, though, they're letting them play. And since then, it's been nothing but whistles.
That one goes in and out. 1 of 2 trip to the line for King. Laddie doubled, finds Ziris. Goldstein was left open. They're trying to get it to him. Cross court for Ziris. Now Mallory for Laddie, for Goldstein, for 3.
Well, Virginia Union there, Joe. They were going with double team all around. Ultimately, the Dolphins cut passing and find the open Goldstein in the corner to knock down the 3, and it's a 4-point game once again.
Dolphins send it around the horn and find an open Aaron Goldstein in the corner for 3. That is his 5th 3-pointer of this game. The Dolphins are now within 4, 13:54 to go. Virginia Union leads 45-41.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Just under 14 minutes to play in this second half. The Dolphins have cut a 10-point halftime deficit to 4. CSI with full court pressure. Weiss dribbles away from it, bounce pass for Dark, and he throws it down with 2 hands.
Yeah, well, that's what happens with the double team. Ultimately, you can find an open shooter, and there Dark was able to slam it home.
We've seen the Dolphins capitalize on some Panthers pressure and double teams, and right there, it is Virginia Union capitalizing on the CSI pressure and double teaming. The defensive intensity in this game has really picked up from both sides. The inbound goes to Goldstein, now Laddie. Laddie, bounce pass for Goldstein, out to Mallory for 3. That's no good. Rebound still loose, and it will stay Dolphins ball.
Good job there by Poulin to get down low, and ultimately it leads to Virginia Union knocking the ball out of bounds.
And I said it earlier in the season, but Poulin is a player who over the course of a game earns you a lot of extra chances that don't show up in the stat sheet. Tipping the loose balls, grabbing rebounds, affording you extra opportunities.
Does a great job with all the little things that add up.
Thought he might look to score there. Instead, he nearly threw it away.
7 on the shot clock now.
How about these defenses in the second half? It is not easy to play with this kind of intensity at the defensive end for a full 20 minutes consecutively. And for the first 7 here in the second half, these two teams have really turned it up. Laddie for Ziris. Air ball.
Had to put it up there. Not the easiest pass to catch.
If the pass had not been high, that would have been a good opportunity for Ziris, but once he had to pull that one down from the rafters and put up a quick 3, he was left without much of a chance. Panthers across the timeline. They now have 20 on the shot clock. Now 10 to shoot. They get it inside to Dark. He has a huge mismatch against Laddie. Weiss swings it for Vaughn. No good. And a nice rebound there by Goldstein. Laddie got run over.
By Dark.
And Goldstein was stripped. Here come the Panthers. Dark right at Laddie. Offensive foul.
Nice job there by Laddie, but he went down hard.
Much respect to Shamar Laddie for standing in and taking that charge.
Offensive foul, number 31, Malachi Dark.
Heard a loud thud when Laddie went to the floor.
He had...
I feel his chest right now. 260-pound locomotive running right into him.
Yep. I very nearly dropped 275 on my chest one time in the gym trying to bench on a Smith machine, and I do not want to know what it feels like to get hit in the chest by 260 plus.
Had to hurt.
Well, thankfully I didn't experience it. My spotter had his head in the clouds somewhere. I guess he didn't think he'd be needed on the Smith machine. 20 on the shot clock. Goldstein over to Laddie. Laddie, pull-up jumper is good.
Laddie doing it on both ends of the court right now.
Dolphins are back to within 4 again. They have not gotten any closer than that yet in this second half. King against Kone, and he rattles in the hook shot.
Just a nice post move there by King.
When you make that move quickly and decisively, it is very hard for a defender to react. Laddie, floater, and that's good. Shamar Laddie heating up now.
Laddie is so good with those floaters. It's very tough to guard.
Backing in, Salazar had it poked away, and he was fouled. Ziris can't believe it. Salazar had absolutely nowhere to go. And that will send us to immediate timeout. 11:20 to go. Virginia Union clinging to their lead. They're in front of CSI, 49-45.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
$11:15 to go, second half, as that spinning hook shot will not go for Salazar.
And Ziris gets fouled.
Once again, we think we have gotten our audio back in the right place. I don't know how we've had this issue this season, but not last. Nick, look how much time is left. Look at Joe.
11-11. He's waiting.
Joe now at the stats desk across the gym. We had moved stats next to us for the early portion of the season. We think everyone is well acquainted
got it
enough
under
now.
control now. Once front row Joe stepped in, he really steadied the ship.
Ziris for three. Splash.
Jay-Z, 3. Dolphins down by just 1 now.
Ziris makes it a 1-point game. Just over 10:40 to play. Goldstein all over Weish here. Big crossover. Weish to the rim. And he draws another foul. And Ziris now has 4.
Yeah, gotta watch out. 10:35 left.
And there is nobody getting up off the bench yet.
The good thing about this roster is if he did foul out, plenty of people depth-wise, but he's going to come out now. Looks like Clancy will check in.
Clancy into the game for Ziris.
In for Virginia Union, number 20, Jamari Gordon, and checking in for the Dolphins, number 14, Chris Clancy.
That free throw won't go. 2-point game now. 1 of 2 trip to the line there. Clancy for the lead. Splash!
There it is, Joe. Shooting threes are always chancy, but not when you're Chris Clancy. What an impact for Clancy in his first game of the season.
And the CC3 puts the Dolphins in front by 1. Just over 10 minutes to go now. Dolphin defense still maintaining that high level of intensity here. Turnaround jumper. And getting the bounce was Mitchell.
Lucky bounce there. And Virginia Union back ahead.
Laddie in traffic finds Clancy. Now Goldstein still 17 on the shot clock. Goldstein on the drive. Floated it up for Kone. I think that was a pass.
Maybe he thought Kone was going for the alley-oop.
Clancy out to Goldstein, deep 3. Splash! Aaron Goldstein from way downtown.
Back. Takes the 3 and makes the crowd go wild in the tank. As good as gold, an AG3. Blackjack.
And a time, or I should say, a foul was called. That will not send us to a timeout just yet.
Aaron's family loving it. Gave him a nice look after that 3. That was Bryce Waterman range.
That was a bombs away moment for Aaron Goldstein. And the Dolphins now behind stifling defense and red-hot shooting have come all the way back and taken a 2-point lead. Nick, the Dolphins shooting 56% in the second half, 63% from beyond the arc. The Panthers have been held to 5 of 15 from the field.
Well, if you're the Dolphins, you love to see it.
And an offensive foul is called.
Was that dark?
It was on Salazar. And that won't appear in the stat sheet either, Nick, but Poulin doing the work defensively there to force Salazar into the offensive foul.
Poulin does the dirty work.
He has managed to impact this game, I believe, without taking a shot. He's 0 for 3. I didn't even think he had taken a shot. Laddie, no good. And Poulin got his hands on that one.
There's that man again. Joey Poulin, let's call him the garbage man because he takes out all the trash. He's cleaning up all the messes.
You know, I think our colleague Louis Matrone did take the sanitation test. I have to ask him how it went. Did he ever get that call back?
Lou, how's he going to work with that bum knee?
He'll work on it. Here come the Panthers off the stolen inbound, and throwing that one down was Jonathan King.
Yeah, King got open there, and no one was going to stop him.
We are all tied at 54. Clancy over to Goldstein. Right back to Clancy. He is met immediately on the wing. Garnett was all over him. Goldstein wants the screen. Pull-up jumper. Splash!
Goldstein knew exactly what he wanted there. Kone comes for the screen, and Goldstein pulls up and knocks down the 2.
Dolphins back in front by a pair. 8 minutes to go, second half. What a back and forth half this has been. King, count it, and 1. Jonathan King, through contact in heavy traffic, has a chance to put the Panthers back in front from the line.
Tie game now. King to the free throw line. Messiah Mallory will check back in, but we'll have a timeout first.
And we will head to a media timeout. 7:57 to go. The Dolphins and Panthers tied at 56.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. I could sit in the book bag like facing backwards and look like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back. And my dad was like, "We have a prodigy." So he put me into soccer and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
.57 to go, second half. The Dolphins and Panthers tied at 56. And Nick, Dolphins have done a great job to battle back from their double-digit halftime deficit. They have gotten even. What needs to happen for them to close this out?
Well, to close this out, they're going to have to continue to play some vicious defense, which they've been able to do this half year. And, listen, keep feeding the hot hands here. Goldstein and Clancy, let them knock down those threes. And hopefully that'll lead you guys to victory.
At the line here for one shot, Jonathan King. And he converts on the free throw. Panthers back ahead by one. Goldstein being harassed by Weish. Now Mallory into the corner for Poulin. 12 to shoot. Goldstein well beyond the arc, has Clancy. And Poulin is whistled for an offensive foul.
Foul number 1, Joey Poulin, his second at Staten Island's 8th of the second half.
That is the 8th Dolphins team foul, so that is something to keep an eye on as well.
Yeah, 7:36 remaining, so any more fouls, Virginia Union will go to the free throw line.
Did mention earlier as well, Messiah Mallory had 3 fouls early in the second half. He spent a lot of time on the bench and has checked back in here. Feed inside to Dark, and his pass is stolen. Laddie, bounce pass, and Clancy lays it in.
I don't know how Laddie got to that. Goldstein was getting ready to dive for it, and Laddie, out of nowhere, gets it. Dishes it to Clancy.
Nick, I was ready to brace the table. I was not feeling good about where that was going to end.
It was getting dicey.
Floater, no good. And Poulin has the rebound. Dolphins ahead by 1 with possession now. Under 7 minutes to play. Laddie drew some contact and lost the ball. Weish races up the floor. Euro step layup is good.
Nice finish.
Panthers by 1, 6.5 to play. And again, the Dolphins cough it up. Weish with the steal and the finger roll. Virginia Union now in front by 3. Clancy. Over to Goldstein. Now Clancy has it right back. Mallory wants it. Clancy left open. Way off. But Mallory has the rebound. Clancy will try again. In and out. Mallory got a hand on it. Makes the save. Goldstein. No good. The Dolphins with
Another
first,
foul on
second,
Mallory.
and third chance. And you said it, Nick. Mallory picks up his 4th.
Hard to believe. It's called for the foul there. The Fanatics can't believe it either.
That will send the Panthers to the line for a 1-and-1. And Nick, if Mallory fouls out, that call that went against him earlier is going to loom very large, regardless of whether or not we liked it.
Absolutely, and if the Dolphins lose by 3, you can also look to that as well, because after that foul on him, they had a 3-pointer by Virginia Union.
You can never point to just one play in a game like this, and in a situation where any given possession could be the one that decides a game, but if he fouls out, I think then you can look back and spotlight that particular play. But at the very least, the Dolphins don't pay for that foul in terms of points.
Well, I don't know what just happened here as Poulin got the rebounds. Were they calling for an issue on the shot clock?
Well, TJ Tibbs was incensed. That's probably as angry as I've seen him this season.
I don't know what just happened.
Well, the Dolphins got the rebound and were forced to inbound again. Did they mistakenly think the Dolphins bench asked for time after a free throw? I don't know.
I don't know.
Sometimes off a free throw, the bench will ask for a timeout, but if the free throw is missed, maybe that wouldn't apply. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll hear about it offline.
You guys have your post-game debriefs?
5.5 to go. Panthers lead it by 3. 5 to shoot. Goldstein doubled. Clancy inside. Mallory turnaround jumper. No good, and it did not hit the rim. Panthers defense now making things very difficult on CSI. And Nick, regardless of which team comes away with the win in this game, these defenses have to be very pleased with how they played.
Yeah, a great effort all around and a lot of impacted shots.
I think it's fair to say nothing has come easily for either side. I mean, both teams have had to work so hard at the offensive end to get any quality shot up. Look at the way Goldstein just fought through that contact. Took a shot to the face.
There's been a lot of contact in this game.
It's been a very physical game. Garnett, hop step, layup, and he gets the bounce.
Tough shot.
How many times have we said that tonight? Friendly rims. Mallory wants it. He's one-on-one. I'm surprised they didn't give him the ball. Poulin for Mallory, and it was tipped away, but Poulin has it back. Ziris, splash!
Well, it all worked out. Ultimately, Justin Ziris gets the ball and knocks down the 3.
Another JZ 3, perhaps. And we are back just in time for play to resume here on CSI Sportsnet. We had a brief production truck outage. Program unexpectedly quit. That's never good. Came at the right time, though, as the Dolphins get their hands on that entry pass and knock it out of bounds. All right, looks like the scoreboard resynced as well, so no harm comes from that unexpected closing of our production software. 15 to shoot for the Panthers. Their lead is 2 points. To the rim goes Mitchell. Lefty layup is good off glass.
Found a lot of space going to the basket and laid it in.
Under 4 minutes to play. The Dolphins lead, or I should say they trail by 4. They've trailed by 4 for much of this half. And Clancy is short on that 3. Dolphins did lead early, and Nick, taking a look, Aaron Goldstein took a shot to the arm along the baseline during, I think it was 2 possessions ago, and he still looks a bit shaken up.
See if that impacts
He was grimacing, and it's the non-shooting elbow it looks like he's favoring. And again, getting to the rim, Mitchell finishes the tough layup. And he is now holding his lower back. Perhaps his ribs took a shot there. And a timeout is called. It will be a full timeout called by the Panthers. With 3:15 to go, Virginia Union leads Staten Island, 67-61.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
.3:15 to go from the tank. Virginia Union leads Staten Island 67-61. Dolphins will inbound when the action resumes. They send Ziris, Laddie, Goldstein, Mallory, and Clancy out onto the floor.
Going with the smaller lineup right now, the Dolphins. We'll see if that hurts them defensively.
This is a 3-point guard lineup for the Dolphins. Goldstein for Laddie, dangerous pass. And I think a foul was called before the steal, and it was.
Travel?
That's what I thought he said.
He said travel. Yeah.
All right,
so
it was a travel.
Travel on King.
He hardly got a chance to move. Dolphins were left with 20 on the shot clock, so it couldn't have been a travel, Nick. And a foul was called, so that had to be a foul. Let's consult the live stats.
We got 6 fouls on the scoreboard.
I'll tell you right now how it was scored.
Sloppy pass.
They gave it a travel. But the Dolphins give the ball right back to the Panthers. And during the most important minutes in this game, things have gotten sloppy. You know what? They never possessed the ball in the front court. That's why it was 20.
Makes sense.
That's why. Turnover before the half-court line. They were just ahead of it. That attempt was blocked by Faulkner Smith. Offensive rebound remained loose and was finally knocked out of bounds. It will be Dolphins ball. 2:23 to go.
Dolphins really need a basket here.
You're at that point in the game now where you can't afford many more empty possessions.
Especially when you're the Dolphins and you have already committed 9 fouls.
That's a good point as well. Goldstein for 3. Splash!
They needed that, Joe. Goldstein knocks down the huge 3. One possession game again.
That is Aaron Goldstein's 7th 3. He is 7 of 13 from beyond the arc, 8 of 14 from the field. Dolphins now within 1 score. It is a 3-point game with under 2 minutes to play. And the Panthers have called for time.
If you're a Virginia Union here, you're bringing Dark back in. You probably want him to attack the basket, especially with the foul troubles the Dolphins are in.
And you have to think, Nick, they called a timeout in all likelihood to get Dark back into the game. I think that was the purpose of the timeout.
Yep.
Otherwise, you just play that possession out and maybe get him back in on the next possession, because this leaves you with 1 timeout left. You have to think that if they needed to get him back in and felt that it was important enough to call a timeout for, they're going to diagram a way to get him the ball here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be surprised if he didn't touch the ball.
Now, the question becomes, do you get him the ball? He's not in.
He's sitting on the bench.
He was at the scores table.
Check in.
He was.
So, change of heart.
Well, my question was going to be, do you diagram a way to get him a touch and draw a double team, or do you try and get him a post touch to score? That question irrelevant now. Salazar out to Vaughn. 12 to shoot. So Vaughn checked in instead. With it now, Mitchell. He's had a really nice stretch run in this game, but that turnaround jumper won't go. 90 seconds to play. The Dolphins trail by 3. Goldstein crosses over, looks to drive, and we'll pull it back out. 15 on the shot clock. Laddie, top of the arc. He crosses over, bounce pass, Kone, and he draws the foul.
A little shaken up down to the floor, but Kone almost had a monster slam. He'll go to the free throw line now for 2 huge free throws.
Well, this building was ready to turn inside out if Kone had been able to convert on that dunk. But now Kone will head to the free throw line for 2 huge shots. First free throw from Kone is no good.
Here comes Dark.
For Kone on the season, he is shooting 20 of 32 from the line. That is 62.5%. One more coming here. And he goes 1 of 2. That's still a big free throw because if you get a stop, you can play for the 2 points and the tie. But need a stop first. 1 minute to play. Weish with it. Defended by Goldstein. He sends it back up top to King. Inside for Dark. Kone defending. Kick out for Vaughn. Pull-up jumper is good.
Huge shot by Vaughn.
Travis Vaughn calmly nets the mid-range jumper. The Dolphins can go 2 for 1 if they hurry, trailing by 4. And Ziris is too strong on the 3. Kone had his hands on it, but Vaughn pulls in the rebound. Goldstein will foul. And with 32.9 to go, the Panthers are in the double bonus.
So, heading to the free throw line here. Big free throws, which could extend this lead to 3 possessions.
Well, Vaughn knocking down that shot completely dictated what the Dolphins were looking to do there, because you could tell Ziris attempted that deep 3 in an attempt to get the 2 for 1. And in doing that, he probably settled for a shot that was less than ideal.
Yeah, Clancy back in now for Kone. So they'll go offense for defense, defense for offense. Here, they'll get Clancy out there for, you're going to need a 3-pointer here. You're going to need 2 threes to tie the game if this free throw is good.
Yeah, with 1 timeout, I think you're at the point now where you have to play for a 3. If you can score lightning fast, you take it, but otherwise, it needs to be a 3. I think it needs to be a 3, Nick.
Yeah.
There it is. And Ziris knocks it down from the corner. The Dolphins still have time to try and force a turnover. Weish, weaving his way through 4 Dolphins, finally draws the foul. And Nick, with that make, CSI still has life.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens here with these free throws, which would then could put this back to a 2-possession game. And the Dolphins are going to have to get a shot up really quick here after these free throws.
If the Dolphins get at least 1 miss here, they will not need a 3 on their next possession. However, if they call timeout ahead of that last possession, it gets much tougher. Should you get the 2 and then you fall behind by 4, that effectively ends the game.
Right. Because then you're looking towards more free throws. So
I think your decision making when it comes to what kind of basket you go for comes down to what you've analyzed the odds to be of a 2-for-2 trip to the line for the opposition. You don't have absolute control over who gets the inbound and who you can foul, but I think in all likelihood the Dolphins have crunched the numbers and they know what their likelihood is of a 2-for-2 trip to the stripe.
Yeah, I think what you want is you want a 3-pointer from Clancy or Goldstein.
I think if he goes 2 for 2 here, you absolutely go for 3.
You have to. This just wouldn't be enough time if you go for
Well, you'd be hoping for 2 misses at the line. That's a big ask. And they get no help here. Dolphins will not use their final timeout. Goldstein up the floor. He's doubled, and he traveled.
Wow.
Travel on the Dolphins with Virginia Union basketball.
I was a bit surprised how aggressively they doubled him, but Goldstein was forced into a travel, and
did not want him shooting a 3.
that may very well do it, and you can't blame them for that. Goldstein has had himself a tremendous night shooting. He was really the only Dolphin that stayed consistently hot for 4 quarters, I should say, for 2 halves. When you call the men's game immediately following the women's game, it's easy to make that error sometimes, but the Dolphins in the second half shot it far better than they did in the first half. It wasn't even close. Unfortunately, the deficit of 10 points that they carried into halftime proved to be too much to overcome.
Still alive, not much time after that missed free throw.
Timeouts do not advance the ball in the men's game, so they will have to cover a lot of ground and get a shot to go while still leaving time for one more shot and a foul. I think your best bet in a situation where a timeout does not advance the ball is to heave it, gain possession as quick as possible, and call timeout. But the Dolphins will call time here.
Well, this will advance. No? The timeout doesn't advance? Okay, so.
Yeah, you know, I've always found that rule to be so peculiar. I don't know about high school rules. I've actually never called a high school basketball game. I don't think I've called high school sports ever.
Neither have I. You call high school football?
That's a good point. I do. No high school basketball. And I just started the football. It was easy to forget. How could I forget?
High school soccer?
That's one of my favorite clients. We did have high school all-star soccer. I did not call that.
Okay.
But you're right. I do call Old Bridge high school football. How could I forget? Hopefully no one from Old Bridge is listening right now. This season was our first season. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun watching Old Bridge make it to the playoffs. And I can't wait to be back next year. A very local client to me as well, only about 10 minutes. That's always nice. Dolphins used to be the closest. They were no more than 3 minutes. That has now extended to about 25 minutes. Though, I don't consider the Dolphins a client.
They're your employer.
Exactly. 5.3 to go. The Dolphins will inbound from the baseline. You could hear the instruction from the Panthers bench. Keep everything in front. Inbound goes to Mallory. He finds Goldstein. And Goldstein nearly banked it in, but that will do it. And the Panthers hold on to defeat the Dolphins 74-68. After Virginia Union led by 10 at halftime, it was a back-and-forth second half. Dolphins did lead briefly in half number 2, but the Panthers in the closing minutes really tightened up defensively, and the Dolphins' hot shooting came to an end during the final minutes of this second half. They fall by 6, and Nick, not much time to rest and recover and regroup as they're right back at it 2 days from now at Wilmington.
Yeah, quick turnaround, and that should be a big game for this team as they look to get things going here in the win column in 2025.
So the Dolphins will still be looking for their first victory of the new calendar year 2 days from now as they visit Wilmington University. However, our final score here tonight, Virginia Union 74, Staten Island 68. We thank everyone who tuned in for tonight's men's basketball non-conference matchup. As for Nick and I, we are back on the air here on Sportsnet 9 days from now as the Dolphins will take on St. Thomas Aquinas College in an East Coast Conference doubleheader from here at the Tank. Be sure to tune in for that. Until then, everyone enjoy the rest of your night, and thanks for watching.